Awesome. Okay. Now is our last session, which is from HPE Hewlett Packard Enterprise. All right. Cool. All right. Thanks. Yeah. Please come on the stage. All right. So you'll take the floor and.
Hi, thank you all for being here today. We're so excited to start a conversation on AI in everyday life for high school students and adults. Thank you to CIE for having us and for organizing this awesome event. And can I just make sure our slides are up? Great, so if we could go to the next slide. So before we talk about today's agenda, I just want to go over a few housekeeping items. First, this lesson plan was designed with high school students in mind. So we'll be talking about AI in everyday life. And adults, you are welcome to stay or to move into the next room to network with your peers or to register for the CIE dinner. Although this session is part of a technical conference, we only have an hour with you today, so I just wanted to make sure that we use this hour wisely. So we will be defining AI, talking about use cases in various fields, and also touching on some ethical considerations. AI is not just for technologists, but it's for all of us as informed digital citizens to understand and to use responsibly. Finally, while I go over the next couple of slides, I just wanted to ask all of the students in the room if you could please complete your pre-surveys and hand them to an HPE volunteer. There's only 3 questions on them, and the HPE volunteers, if you wouldn't mind raising your hand so they know who to send the surveys to, that would be great. Thank you. And the last thing is, if any high school students are sitting way in the far back, if you wouldn't mind coming up, that would be great because we're also going to be doing a group exercise later on. So just logistically, it will help you out. So we will start with introductions. I'll introduce myself, and then the HPE leads will introduce themselves. And then just to make sure that we all start on the same page, we will do a warm-up activity. After that, for 20 minutes, the students will break into small groups, and they will be facilitated by an HPE volunteer. And you'll be doing an activity that involves some light research on your phones and filling out an activity handout. And then after that, we will do a share out of what we have learned, and then we will do a wrap up, and then we'll have students and volunteers take a group photo together. So many of us here are from Hewlett Packard Enterprise, and that is a technology company that offers products ranging from hardware to software to networking, data storage, and AI tools. We have a diversity and inclusion program that is key to HPE's DNA, so we encourage resource groups to volunteer their time teaching STEM education topics. And that's what brought us here today. HPE and the Global Asian Network wanted to team with CIE to talk about AI with you all. So a little bit about me. My name is Elisa Paik. I am a customer education manager at HPE. And I enjoy working in tech because things are always changing. There's always something new to learn and to teach. And some facts about me are that I have over 10 years of experience in education, mostly teaching critical thinking in higher ed. I'm also a bunny owner, and I row in the San Francisco Bay on a racing team. I wanted to mention that today, if you have any questions about AI or you want to dig a little bit deeper with one of the HPE facilitators, we have a couple of people in the audience, Omar and Sandy, if you wouldn't mind raising your hands again. So they're in the sort of last third of the room. And you can always speak with them after the session if you have any questions. So I wanted to also give my partners in crime a chance to introduce themselves. Estella, Jenny, and Jason. They are from the Global Asian Network. And I'll just run down this microphone and...
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the HPE STEAM program. I'm the engineer in HPE and also the Global Asian Network, the digital chair in charge of STEAM program. And we organized this event. Thank you so much for the volunteer and thank you all the students. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, I'm Jason Pitts, engineering manager at HPE for about 8 years now. And I have a cool demo to share at the booth afterwards, running Olama, large language model, locally on my PC. It takes a little while for some complex questions, but it's still pretty fun. So come find me afterwards if you want to learn more. Thanks.
Hi everybody, I'm Jenny Ho. I'm the chair for the Global Asian Network for our San Jose chapter at HPE. We're delighted to be here on behalf of our leadership team and our volunteers to present the session to you all. So my day job is engineering program manager working in the hybrid cloud space. Thank you again, thank you CIE for inviting us here.
Okay, so on the next slide, we're just going to dive right into our warm-up activity. We are going to watch a few videos. The first one is one that defines AI, and then the second one will be showing its relevance in everyday life, and then the last one will be some ethical considerations around AI. So whenever you're ready, we can start the video, and then afterward, I'm going to be asking who can define AI.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, is the field of computer science that focuses on creating machines that can think and act like humans. These machines use algorithms, or sets of instructions, to process data and make decisions based on that data. There are many different types of AI, ranging from simple programs that can perform basic tasks to more complex systems that can learn and adapt to new situations. One way that AI works is through machine learning, where a computer is fed large amounts of data and uses that data to learn about a particular subject or task. For example, a machine learning program might be fed thousands of pictures of dogs and cats, along with labels identifying which is which. The program would then use this data to learn how to identify dogs and cats in new pictures. Another way that AI works is through natural language processing, or NLP. This involves building systems that can understand and generate human-like language. For example, a chatbot might use NLP to understand and respond to questions or commands from a user. Overall, the goal of AI is to create machines that can think and act intelligently, whether that means learning from data, understanding and generating language, or solving complex problems. That's the basics of artificial intelligence explained in 1 minute. Subscribe to the channel for more simple explanations like this. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so I wanted to show that particular video because it does a good job of defining some key terms. So it talked about AI, algorithms, machine learning, and natural language processing. So it did cover a working definition of AI. Is there anybody here who can remember that or define AI in their own way? How do you understand AI? Feel free to raise your hand. I saw maybe half the hand over here. Yeah, excellent. Did anybody miss that answer? Essentially, he said that, if I could summarize, that AI is able to learn from data sets as opposed to traditional computing methods. So that is very key to understanding AI, is that it, if you really boil it down, it can learn somewhat like humans can. So now that we have this working definition and framework, let's talk a little bit about AI in everyday life. And so there will be another video here. It will give you some examples of AI in everyday life. Some that you know, some that you might have not thought of yourself.
Every day, AI helps people with their personal lives, jobs, transportation, education, health, and more, maybe even without them realizing it. Here are some examples of AI in action on a typical day. In the morning, a teenager wakes up and uses facial recognition to unlock her phone. She scrolls through social media feeds to see what's new. Then she asks the voice assistant on her phone what the weather's going to be like that day so she knows how to dress for school. A college student uses an app on his phone to deposit a birthday check from his grandmother. He takes a photo of the check, and the app automatically reads the handwriting to figure out the amount. It then deposits it into his account. Meanwhile, a younger student uses a different app that is teaching her a new language. The app listens to what she says and can recognize what she's saying even if she makes mistakes. The app then gives her personalized feedback on her pronunciation. At the same time, a person gets in their car to go to work, and the navigation system plans the fastest route based on current traffic. In the car, they listen to a music streaming service, which already knows what types of songs they like, based on what they listened to before. When a factory worker arrives at her job, she sees that, as usual, humans and robots are both assembling cars. The robots do some of the more dangerous or repetitive tasks, like welding or painting. AI helps the robots recognize the tools they need to pick up or check parts to make sure they have been cut exactly right. When the cars are completed, computers help manage inventory and plan efficient shipping routes to deliver them around the world. Now, meet a farmer who's checking on her crops. She notices that some of her plants look unhealthy. She pulls out her smartphone and uses an app to take a photo of the leaves. The app can detect crop disease and also identify harmful insects. The app identifies the problem and recommends treatment. A surgeon is using AI to help make a medical diagnosis for a patient, and then a robot helps her perform a successful surgery. Afterwards, she goes to visit patients in a nursing home, where robots gently lift seniors in and out of bed and help them move around. In the meantime, a traveler needs to book a flight to another city. An automated customer service chatbot helps him book his ticket on the phone. Once he's on board, autopilot flies the plane for much of the flight. AI is even used in space. On the International Space Station, an astronaut talks to a free-floating robot that helps with chores and does jobs that are risky for humans. Now that you've learned about how other people use AI every day, think about how you use it. Spend a few minutes thinking about this question. What are 3 ways that you or someone you know uses AI? Type your answers in your document.
So we're going to stop the video there. We have our own activity sheets here. But before we get to those, I wanted to ask, can anyone tell me examples that maybe were or weren't in the video of how people use AI in everyday life?
Just for other stuff, and I've actually noticed that it doesn't matter.
So it's probably learn your speech, learn from you how you sound so it can understand your words better. So he was saying that he uses Google Home, which is a really great example of AI and a way that we've come to rely on it in our everyday lives. Can I return back to the PowerPoint? And I think think that great. Yeah. Let me just go forward. So yeah, these are some additional examples of the ways that we use AI. Now that we have identified some of those ways, I wanted to also touch on the challenges of AI, the ethical considerations around it. So this will help us with the activity that we're going to have coming up. Because with new technologies come new applications, and inherent to those are benefits and risks. So the next video will give us a quick introduction to some ethical considerations. It should be video number 5.
In the past few videos, you learned about the benefits of AI and how people use it every day. In this video, you will learn about some of its challenges. These challenges include AI making mistakes, showing bias, and automating human jobs. First, AI can make mistakes. It's programmed by humans who might make mistakes when they program it. And since AI learns by looking at data, it can make mistakes if it doesn't get enough data. This is why it's often important for humans to work with AI so they can check what it's doing. Google Translate is an AI tool that learns from hundreds of millions of already translated documents on the internet. But the translations aren't always perfect. For example, Google Translate may have difficulty translating idioms. Idioms are expressions that have a different meaning than the literal definition of the words in the expression. An example is, it's raining cats and dogs, which means that it's raining heavily, not that cats and dogs are actually coming down from the sky. If the AI translates the sentence word for word, it is not going to make sense in a different language. But with enough examples, it can learn a correct translation. To help Google Translate avoid these and other mistakes, people can become contributors and verify or check translations. If many contributors verify a translation, it gets a badge. This is an example of how many people can work together with an AI system to make it more accurate. Another challenge with AI is bias. Bias means to prefer one person or thing over another. Consider the following situation where AI might learn bias from data. Imagine a company is hiring a lot of people. They get so many applications that they get an AI system to help them decide who to interview. The AI system is given data about who the company has hired in the past. Without realizing it, the company previously hired mostly younger people. The AI learns to imitate this pattern and favors younger candidates over older candidates. This is an example of how AI can learn bias from decisions made by humans. AI can also be used for other decisions. For example, banks might use it to decide who gets a loan for a house, or schools and teachers can use it to grade student assignments by programming it to look for specific keywords. These AI systems can return a grade within seconds. In each of these instances, AI makes decisions quickly and saves employers, banks, and teachers time. But can you think of any possible risks of using AI in these ways? How might these risks be minimized? Another challenge is the long-term effects of AI automation. Machines that use AI can do some tasks that used to be done by humans. For example, some factory work is now done by machines. And self-checkout machines now do some of the work of grocery clerks. What might happen as a result? For example, if robots around the world do more work, might humans get more time to relax? If AI does repetitive tasks, can people end up with more interesting jobs? And although AI may automate some jobs that are now done by humans, do you think it may also create new kinds of jobs? What kinds of jobs do you think might be needed? Many people and organizations are thinking hard about these challenges and ways to ensure AI is used.
Okay, so this video posed some really interesting questions. It said that if AI takes the jobs of humans, people might end up with more interesting jobs. That's a very intriguing and promising view. Are there any other ethical considerations that stick out to you? Raise your hand.
It's like Earth is flat, and if the AI gets enough data that says that, it might mistakenly start telling people that the Earth is flat or other stuff. So it's hard to like figure out how to make sure that AI can detect when it's receiving misinformation. Also, a previous speaker I think mentioned this, that people are using AI to do kind of shady things. There's a lot of cybercrime with the digital era, and now that AI has become big, it's also used by people, and that's an even bigger problem because it's much easier to hack something than to code something.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Those are two really great examples. I'll talk about the second one first. There was recently a hack of a medical institution where the cyber criminals essentially targeted 100 of the top most critical patients and changed their medical recommendations and their medical records in order to have people pay the ransom more quickly. And the first example you mentioned is very true. So I work in using AI voiceovers every day for my job. I create videos, and kind of like the first video we all saw today, it used an AI narrator voiceover. So I don't know if you noticed, it was kind of robotic sounding. So I create scripts using AI narrator to narrate it, and I could essentially have an AI voice say whatever I wanted it to say. So I could script something in another language that I can't speak myself. That's one example. Another example is if I had an AI voiceover that sounded like a celebrity, I could make it sound like that celebrity is saying what I wanted it to say. So yeah, really great examples, thank you. In the next little section, I wanted to have the students in the room, I think there's probably a dozen of you. If you could please raise your hands. Great, okay. So the students who are sitting without another student nearby, if you could just partner with the nearest student by you, we're gonna be working on these activity sheets together. So, or I think what we could do is if you're not by another student, you could also work on them yourselves, but they're quite long, so you might want a partner, but it's up to you. So I'll just leave you a quick moment to decide. All right, so it looks like people might be opting to work on the activity sheets on their own. Get to the slide with the assignment on it. Okay, great. So we want you to choose one of these topics in the middle of the screen and research how AI is being used to solve problems in that area. So try to choose a topic that is both innovative and personally interesting to you. And then in your packets, you have a 2-page activity sheet. We're going to allot the next, let's say 15 minutes or so to do the choosing of a topic, researching, and then filling in the activity sheet. So I suggest taking maybe 4 or 5 minutes to choose one of these topics, then 4 or 5 minutes to research it on your phones, and then another few minutes to fill out the activity sheet. If you have any questions about it, you can ask one of the HPE volunteers, or you can just raise your hand and ask me. Just to check in, hopefully everybody has chosen a topic and has started researching it and might even be on the activity sheet. So I'll give you a few more minutes. Okay, so timing-wise, we're a little bit short on time today, but I know you guys are still working on your activity sheets, and I did not give you a lot of time, not to worry. There's no right or wrong answer for this activity. What we really wanted to do was to create this space for you to think about AI in an open-minded way. So we're hoping to share out a little bit of what we've learned. Is there anybody who wants to tell us what you researched or anything surprising that you found? I'm so curious. I'm so curious because AI just changes so constantly that it would be really wonderful to learn from you all in terms of what you're researching is new in the field of AI today.
AI can help solve climate change. And I looked into a few things. AI can help gather and analyze data. Right now there's a lot of climate data that experts haven't been able to sift through because there's so many locations gathering data that humans can only synthesize this data so quickly, and AI can help that so experts could factor this synthesized data in quicker. AI also might be able to forecast natural disasters by looking at past patterns. Like specifically earthquakes are notoriously hard for humans to detect until like 5 minutes before the disaster, and that doesn't really give anyone enough time to evacuate. System optimization, AI can help optimize systems like freight transportation and food refrigeration, which will reduce the carbon footprint and fossil fuel consumption of those industries, helping our world. And it can also assist in proof of concept in development by helping human scientists better field test their innovations before they spend a lot of money trying to mass produce whatever solutions they come up with. And, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so fourfold, I think you mentioned, reducing emissions to begin with, sifting through information, making predictions, and one other one that if I were AI, I might be able to remember, but thank you so much. Great, yes, there's somebody else who wanted to share what they researched or any interesting findings that you had.
So another application of AI is optical character recognition. This basically can translate images of certain documents, look at all the characters and numbers and all that, and they can turn that into some sort of data for the model to parse itself. Another one I wrote down was for autonomous vehicles. This is another application of computer vision. You can look at different parts of the street, and if you also sync up some of the models in the surrounding area to one network, you can also help streamline traffic.
Thank you. I did not know about streamlining traffic, about that option. That was new to me. Is there anybody else who wants to share what they've learned or anything surprising that they came across? Okay. So I have a question for you guys. I was researching and I saw that in December of 2023, ACT, the American College Testing Board, did a study of 4,000 high school students in grades 10 through 12 who were registered for the June 2023 ACT exam. And they found that over half had used AI for schoolwork, even though more than half said that, 62% said that their instructors in school did not allow them to use AI for schoolwork. So, question for you guys is, if you had to guess, what percentage of these students are using AI for their college admissions essay? If you had to guess a percentage, how many are using it for college admissions essays? Any guesses? That's very close to what I thought. I thought it would be a majority of students, especially considering half of them had already used them for schoolwork. Surprisingly to me, it was only 10% who had considered using it for college admissions. And when asked the reasons why they chose not to, because 90% clearly chose not to, they cited dishonesty, penalties, getting penalized if they were found out, and poor quality of writing, and a lack of voice authenticity in their voice when creating the essay. And that made me think about using AI in the workplace. In marketing, a lot of people are told to use AI to produce work faster. I think, though, that these high school students might have had a really great point, or they might have had a little bit of foresight, because they saw that it would take away from the individuality of their voices. So one consideration that the workforce might not have yet had to contend with is AI capable of creating original content, or original sounding content? Or are we all going to sound very similar? So that was just an interesting fact I wanted to share with you before we move on to the bonus, which I can just tell you about. Jason had mentioned that there is a platform called Olama. It's a platform for large language models, and he's got it on a laptop at our booth, our table outside. So if any of you are interested in taking a look at it, you can ask it a question and watch what happens. So that's that. You can take a look at that and play around with that. And then I just wanted to say thank you all for being here and for contributing your thoughts and for showing such original ideas. Really appreciate it. And if you have any further AI questions, we have Sandy and Omar, and HPE volunteers can answer any questions about HPE. If you're interested in learning more about HPE, you can start at hpe.com/about, or just ask one of us. And please remember the students to fill out your exit survey. So that will help us to create more programs like this. And when you're done, you can hand that survey to an HPE volunteer. And then I think we wanted to do photos, and it looks like we have enough time for that. So we wanted the students, please, to come on up, and the volunteers to come on up to take a photo. If you could come on up here, please. We want to take some photos before...
I just actually, we prepared some plates for you and for other representatives from HPE. Let's invite our Secretary of CIE, Carol. Please come on stage. So, please, this is Elisa Paik, please. And Yeah, that's it, Elisa. Next one would be Jason, please. Right. Yeah. Last but not least, Estella. Actually, Estella just did like tremendous work like behind the scenes. Like. Awesome. So now, please, come to the stage. All the attendees, all the participants, please come on stage. Let's take a group photo.